Darksided demolish. Oh, we've already been over this. I don't have to reiterate. Bans, what are we expecting to see, Dev?
On the attacking side, Avant do like clearing out the Jackal, but with Darksided on the first attacker ban last time, they banned Montaigne on this map when they played against Oddity, and it looks like they're continuing that trend. Darksided really like banning the Montaigne. They banned it against Oddity on Clubhouse last week, and they banned it just earlier today in that previous match about an hour ago against Avant.
Bit of a strange ban, I feel, isn't it? Like, it's not... Like, it's been a perma-ban across 2 maps. Like, I can understand it on Clubhouse, but I'm a bit puzzled by banning it on Coastline.
Yeah, I got to feel you there. Coastline didn't make as much sense, but hey, Darksided won, no questioning that. The Thatcher ban from Avant. August has been a team that have been wanting to ban Thatcher in the past. Avant as well, both really enjoying getting that kind of blanket utility denial off the board for the attacking side. Perhaps looking to get aggressive, play a lot of mute. That's what I expect when I see a Thatcher ban. Defense, banning Mirror. Yep, that's what Avant like to do. So no more Mirror. Darksided, final ban. Is it going to be Echo or Maestro?
One or the other, I can feel that. They banned Echo last time, so I wouldn't be surprised if it was going to be another Echo ban. Although, just watch us get proved wrong. Nope, we're right. It's Echo.
There you go. These guys are becoming pretty easy to read, aren't they?
Yeah.
Monty, Echo, same bans out for Darksided and Thatcher and Mirror. Instead of a Jackal and Mirror as we saw in the previous map. This team's staying very consistent. On the bans at least. As we see Cash and CCTV, the first defensive bomb site for Darksided. No real surprise there. Maestro definitely going to be pivotal in this defense. As is the hold of Garage. Mute being brought out. We've seen so much Mute. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw a... Actually, no, scratch that. Bandit's not going to be as useful due to the Maverick being played. No hard breach ban.
Yeah, that's the point I was just about to bring up. All 3 hard breaches are available. It looks like Avant are doubling down, tripling down with all 3 of them.
Can't blame him for that. Certainly is. Certainly works out sometimes. I mean, it just makes you worry about what kind of other utility they have. But they've got smokes on Glaz, so I can't worry too much. I actually think it's a really good setup in terms of operator lineups. All the hard breach they could ask for, some good fragging, 3 speed with a good gun in the Maverick, 2 speed with a good gun in the Zephyr, and a bunch of utility to go with it. A little bit of smokes as well. And the flexibility to really attack any bomb site and deal with any kinds of hard breach or reinforced walls they come up against.
Yeah, Glat and Glaz to really title together. I'm surprised they don't have a few more smokes actually with taking the Glaz.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say it's typical for when you have a Glaz, you have the Glaz who brings smokes, and then one other player, a Dokkaebi or a Capitao who also brings smokes, even a Jackal. But not so. Shaq trying to get that vault all the way up into the corner, but it seems to be one that a lot of players struggle with. And when you have to do your setup so quickly, a lot of players just give up and place their evil eyes elsewhere.
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised if we saw quite a few Legion mines up here on the catwalk as well. As that's a nice early opening up there from Luna. She's just going to hold down onto the stairwell, hoping to catch someone off who's a bit late rotating up, but not to be.
And you can see with the amount of hard breach available for Avant, they really waste no time in deciding, yep, we're definitely going to open up some angles into the garage. That's cutting off that rotation. A good start for them. Also a clear downstairs, it looks like. They might want to enter there. Disho guy likely to start blowtorching the bottom of this wall, preventing these mute jammers. Making sure that there's no one to run out of them at the time. No C4s to be thrown out as well.
Yeah, looks like his drone's been jammed there as well, as Vicious is just going to reposition before they start the blowtorching. A bit risky having the Thermite the one to take out the mute jammer, but I don't think it's... I don't think it's like overly risky though. Like I think it's an acceptable risk, and so Vicious has done that. It's just he's going to now have to go down and then rappel up from a completely different angle. Is Luna she fighting hippie style over here?
It looks like it. She had a couple of angles to use looking into the garage, but Shaq's still holding fast inside of there as well. Hopefully soon we'll see some pressure onto the garage, because over half the round down, and Shaq's still allowed to hold inside of there, and hippie style roaming below as well. You have that wall open finally, but Avant still haven't cleared out this garage because it's not safe to enter and plant.
Jack Daddy's gone quite low as well. He's just got a sliver of HP. There's a minute on the clock, so what do Avant have to do? Clear out garage and then get ready to push in for the blunt. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Shaq in a bit of a world of hurt. And this looks like what Copper's going to have to do. He's already started smoking up. Shaq hoping someone to... Oh, I can see the yellow! Or is that just our screen? Okay, it's clipping through it, I believe. It's either Copper being nice and not shooting the clip, or it's not like that on Copper's screen there.
Unfortunately, no grenades as well for Avant, so they can't deal with him that way. Finally, though, Copper does find the headshot. Shaq goes down. A lot of time wasted, just 30 seconds remaining, and Fisher guys decided to take the initiative, jump straight on in. Copper's gone down, but still 4 players left to make the job happen for Avant. Ippy Style continuing his reign of terror. Now finally Darkseid just collapsing upon these attackers as they try to get into the side. Just Vicious remaining. He'll be taken. Oh no, he gets that kill onto Specker, but finally Jack Dad from behind finishes off the last Avant player and spearheads his team to a victory on the defense.
Yeah, it really felt like Avant were just a bit too slow there, like especially on them getting open the garage wall. Like it seemed like they weren't all ready for it or knew how they wanted to play it.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you. I think that, honestly, I think they know what they want to do, and that's just, okay, Copper takes out the player in garage after he's done dealing with whatever else he's doing before that, droning out below or what have you, but it took so long for Copper to actually finally clear out garage. There was 30 seconds left, and they couldn't dislodge any of the other players, and the flanks from construction swiftly dealt with any kind of presence that the attackers had in CCTV.
Looks like Copper's going to switch that blitz, that Glaz over to a blitz as we go for the church and Arsenal room as the bomb site.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs.
Yep, downstairs we go. Good bomb site to pick. Only one hard breach. Yes. I don't understand.
I was going to say, quite a big change up here in terms of operators, isn't it?
Yeah, for the attacking side, definitely. The Dokkaebi, instead of the, well, I guess, I'm not sure what Fisher was playing before, Ibana or Maverick? Maverick, that's what it was.
Yeah.
So, Dokkaebi instead of the Mav, and I know we could talk about the Blitz, but I'm just so bewildered by the fact we have only one hard breach. It's just so limited. It almost costs nothing just to bring a Hibana and open up all of those hatches, get them for free.
Do you reckon Avant were perhaps anticipating maybe a bedroom hold, but like you'd still feel at least a Maverick?
Yeah, why would you anticipate a bedroom hold though? It's so typical to go downstairs. Perhaps Darkseid occasionally have a bedroom, but you really have to keep all your options open. And limiting that hard breach certainly limits the options for the attacking side. Bit of a roam prepared for Darkseid, including mute jammers on these external walls. They're not going to be popped open at all with the limited amount of hard breach that we have available to us. It's going to come down to a lot of brute forcing and frags for the attacking side. As Flossie expires the first of his lifeline charge as he spots a player, lands one bullet, but only a bit of damage done to Jack Dad. Now first, further back, as well as Specker. They just want to get out with their life at this point. And unfortunately, okay, there you go. There is one player watching that rotation. Vicious takes down Jack Dad.
Completely shutting him down, wasn't it? We could hear that blitz up above starting the pain train, and they're like, yeah, no, we want nothing to do with this. And very successful roam clear so far for Avant.
Yeah, a bit greedy for Jack Daddy potentially to decide instead of going downstairs, he wants to stay up, keep on this roam, and he was punished for it. Great job from Vicious to be watching that rotation. And fortunately for them, they did succeed in achieving something, or some level of frag on that roam clear.
So Specker's getting ready for a late flank as well, and Avant have no presence towards that side of the map at all, of course, with their limited hard breach.
Look at this. They're just face-checking the entire strip. Not droned. At all.
They had a drone. I saw Flossie, yeah, no, sorry.
Well, they face-checked the whole thing. I mean, it's good that they're checking it, but I saw
them throw a drone towards it earlier, towards the drone hall. So
well, that doesn't explain why Copper is going upstairs. I don't understand. This is really confusing.
It's just too high IQ for you, Dev.
What is this? They think there's someone upstairs. They've pinched perfectly onto the construction tunnel where there is no one nearby. Only a minute left.
My thought is
done the basics.
My thought is they feel like someone's escaped their roam clear and they really want to recheck it. But as we can see through walls and they can't, hopefully, we know that there is no one up there. But 30 seconds, you are right. They are spending way too long doing this. And that's going to be to Itby Style's downfall. Sorry, Fisher Guy's downfall to Itby Style. As the man count is evened up. Copper's going to start his pressure through the construction tunnel. Luna's going to find Cutie towards blue as well. As they've started this collapse pretty swiftly.
This would be good if it happened a minute ago, but now they've got to sprint. They have no choice. 12 seconds, Copper, a great aim down sights headshot. Still 2 defenders remaining. The Blitz will get taken down by Copper. Is there a refrag? No. Style. Absolutely styling that round. Taking it another player out on the attacking side. And I've got to say, oh, what an angle. Disgusting. Got to say, if Avant had done that maybe a minute earlier, then they would have potentially broken through that defense, but it's far too late.
Well, 2 rounds in a row there for Dark-Sided. It really feels like Avant, once again, tripping up with little mistakes and not doing the things that, you know, we've seen them doing in the past. Like, double guessing, what's the word? Second guessing themselves if they properly droned out and pinched all the roamers. Like, I think they were convinced that one had escaped their net.
Yeah, it's just a bit disappointing because that's a completely avoidable mishap. That didn't have to happen.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs.
Now it pans out for Avant in that round. Now a third defense. Pretty easy to read where Dark-Sided are going next. Gym and bedroom. The only remaining viable bomb site for them to attempt. Castle as well to assist in that. Cap can. Something you see every day, but speaking of what we do see pretty regularly, this heavy cash hold. Lots of reinforcements being invested in, hopefully some impact grenades prepared to counter these thermite charges, which are the only hard breach being brought by Avant once again.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was about to bring that up, but yeah, once again, only one hard breach.
When you're like, hey, we need a Sledge, a Zephyr, and an Ash instead of a second hard breach or a Thatcher. I mean, Thatcher's been banned out, right? But
so I suppose from my thoughts, all 3 of those operators can counter the castle barricades.
Do you need 3 of them?
You don't need 3 of them, but then again, I suppose the Zephyr and the Ash could also counter that, you know, that bandit tricking we see over by Jacuzzi Wall with the shield and such.
It really has gone out of meta a bit. Maybe one Ash of Ash or Zephyr, but no, really demanding them to be brought. Now Shaq with a run out as well takes down Fisher. That's the Ash off the board without using any utility. Good cameras by Shaq, no doubt. Wow, what a long angle, jumping all the way outside. Flossie does get eventually a refrag. That's Specker down. Castle off the board. Nice shot apparently. And here you go. It's pretty obvious that there's going to be ADSs to prevent these Ying charges and frag grenades. So
yeah, I'm just surprised they let the Ying charge be wasted so easily. Like, check it with at least a flashbang first. Like, once again, little mistakes, I feel.
Really feel like Avant maybe lacking a little bit of the utility. Copper, what? Lets the Ying charge subside, and now he doesn't have the advantage. That's 2 Ying charge wasted. Cutie's still in a great position holding inside. The flashbang goes out. Cutie is taken down, and desperate for this kill. Can he find it? Whereabouts does it come from? I believe Luna picked it up.
Yeah, Luna got it, but we've got Jack Daddy. Oh, can't just land those shots through the wall, unfortunately. But this is Avant in a man advantage. Bomb site completely clear. And they're going to have to rotate back to it, which, you know, Vicious could completely cut off if he just holds down the right angle here.
Wow, is this a...
Oh, is he going to get past?
The bomb site, the plant going down. Vicious spots out Shaq. Here's a little bit of damage, but Copper needs to prevent this. Oh, Copper finds 2. We're going to see both of these in the kill cam, and somehow a swift round taken at the end by Avant that really shouldn't have happened at all.
Well, you know, Dev, we were critical about their amount of hard breach, but there's why they didn't need it. They can still get the round. That's right. I'm surprised that they had so much success on Cash without being refragged, but Ying did the job well, so credit to him. I may be skeptical sometimes, but you gotta give credit where it's due. Well,
Finally, Avant back in the game as well with that round.
back to where we started, CCTV room and cash room. You know, I was clean feeding something the other day, and we saw the
SEA?
bar.
Was it SEA?
No, it wasn't SEA. I think it was it might have been Summer Series.
Oh, okay.
And we saw a bar defense, and I was just so happy.
I haven't seen that bar defense ever since Clubhouse was reworked.
Yeah, I know, right? I was very surprised.
Oh, I'd love to see that, but I don't think we'll get it in Pro League, unfortunately. It'd be nice to see, but the team's just not very safe with it. Do you remember how it went? Was it successful?
There was a rehost on that round.
Oh,
I can remember that much.
it's cursed.
Yeah, I think they did end up winning it though, and I think they won the series on that bomb site. So,
Oh, wow.
like, teams just don't know how to attack it anymore, and especially with the changes to cash room, it's a lot easier to defend upstairs and prevent that vertical pressure.
Why is Jack Daddy using impact grenade on that when Cutie could have just popped it with a shotgun? Bit of lack of clarity on the setup there.
Potentially, Cutie had popped it on his screen. It was just a bit of desync.
Oh, that's possible. Unfortunate, but possible. Now, 2 hard breaches brought this time around as Luna switches onto the Hibana and opens up the angle to cut off any rotation inside of the garage.
But no Maverick.
No, so you've got to wonder how are they intending to get rid of these mute jammers. I expect that's what Fisher guys IQ is for, but it requires taking a lot more ground than the Maverick would be. Very risky.
Well, a minute down and Avant. Maybe they're just going for a west side push. Like, that's where everyone's gathering up. In fact, Fisher guy is going to... Oh, he's just going balls deep right here. He can't quite land the follow-up onto Shaq. Timing not on his side there, unfortunately. It's Fisher
What do
guy.
you expect?
Just ran right in there.
What do you expect running right in there, like running into the bomb site minute 30 with no backup, no attempt for a refrag?
Something that they really don't expect, and you know, he did find the first one onto Cutie. But oh, look, he also got the mute jammer, gaining them access into the bomb site as that thermite charge is going to go out on top of box.
That's one way to get that mute jammer. There's Luna also presence below. Copper decided, Glaz, not so much, just a Blackbeard instead. Take out this player. Oh, lands a few shots, but Shaq lands just as many back, if more in fact. And really, it's a struggle as Icky Style taking down Luna outside. Keen for a run out as well. Copper on seriously low HP.
Yeah, that Blackbeard was really punished, and that shield looks like it's also allowing Shaq a lot of freedom in the position he's sitting. It looks like it's going to be a reset, unless that was an accidental falling off there. As Ippy Style is in a really good position here if we see the reset attempted. Oh, he's going to miss the shots.
No, no.
In fact, that is the revive coming on through. Ippy Style just not landing the right shot. And he's going to peek again. 1 HP remaining as he's going to piece on out. Lucky to be alive right now.
He's probably wanting a reset, but 30 seconds remaining. Still a very difficult spot for the attackers. They start pushing. Just 20 seconds. Where will this push come from, Monkey?
Well, it has to come in now. Looks like Vicious is going to be pushing on in, but they really need to clear out these stairs. In fact, Specker is going to be doing the opposite. Specker, then Jack Daddy to finish it off. And that's Darkside. Once again, looking very strong on a defense round.
Well, good defense again, but just a bit slow on the attack for Avant as well. Struggling so far in the second map in a row. They are down in the round count early in the first half. Darkside had 3 successful defense. Avant, even on the second attempt, unable to crack the egg that is cash room.
Well, Kavira is going to be shown here by Jack Daddy. And when I say shown, I mean he's going to 6th pick, but what's he going to 6th pick to?
He knows he wants to 6th pick. There you go, the smoke. Pretty common staple for Jack Dad, but at least making the attackers think that that's something they're going to have to deal with.
This time we have the 2 hard breaches though, so.
Oh, nice. I like that. I mean, it shouldn't be I shouldn't be praising a team for simply bringing 2 hard breaches on a basement defense. I mean, I'm sure that there are attacks you could do with only 1 hard breach, but I certainly think that 2 is the go.
Well, 3-1 scoreline right now. What do you feel like? Do you feel like Avant just haven't shown up to play and they're not coming back from this mentality, or are they in with a chance here, Dev?
10 seconds left.
Sometimes it's just about going back to the basics and making them work, and that's what the thing Avant struggle to do. Keep trying to just do something really different. You know, use blitz, use Dockerby. Don't just go for your simple thermite open the church wall. Have all the utility you need to take out that. Unfortunately, I wouldn't put my money on them right now, the way it's been playing out.
It really feels like their timing is just all over the place, isn't it?
Yeah. A bit rough on the timing front, which is really what's so essential on this. And sometimes just thorough droning. They are droning this top floor, live droning the players in. But, you know, it's something they struggled with earlier, wasting a huge amount of time re-droning areas and face-checking areas. For this downstairs bomb site, you really have to, there's so much to deal with once you actually get downstairs that you really need to use your time as efficiently as possible.
Yeah, definitely need to streamline it, don't you? A minute down and they have... Yeah, they have cleared out everything. They're just going to start their push now, and, you know, I think they are more confident that it is clear this time.
Oh, there you go. Some of the hard breach perhaps not even that necessary, but there's less soft breach available than hard breach, so Luna will take out both of those hatches with their X-Kairos. A hard hold inside of blue for Shaq and Style, so I don't predict that we'll see a push in through that avenue. Moto and main stairs push onto the church wall with a thermite charge is what's really become meta recently, and honestly I think it's something that could work out well.
It really looks like Avant do want to force out this blue push.
Well, could well work for them. They're going to have to use the blitz to their best ability.
Yeah, he's the one who's focused over in dirt tunnel here, and the smoke grenade's just going to be able to force him back, hold him off for a good 30 seconds. It's getting to that climax here. Dev, Spec is going to start it off there. He's going to find Fisher, and Luna is going to find Cutie as they go for the aggressive push. Punished in a 1-for-1 trade. But still a good play there from Specker. How did that work? Like, Avant were just not ready for that.
A bomb has been located.
Really struggling Avant at the moment. It's dedicating whole players to watching these flanks. Something you can afford to do in this situation. Copper pushing through the dirt tunnel as Blitz. He had decent success last time on this push, but he's still struggling so far. Jaeger is spotted on the cross, but Luna fails to pick up the kill. Copper very shortly will be pushing in from the dirt tunnel. Wants to go for a hipfire, aims down sides. Where is Jack Daddy? Not awake it seems. Specker is taken down, and there's another player in church. Flossie being abused by all this utility before Luna is taken out. Ippy Style, how is he allowed to do that? Sprinting on through, but Copper tapes him out. Copper on Blitz, MVP for that round, but still getting too close for comfort for Avant.
Yeah, there we go. Avant finally putting another up on the board. Just one away from evening it up, and 1 round left in this half.
Still a struggle for Avant, but getting a little bit closer. And, well, Darkseid really should retry this bomb site and see how they can perhaps fix up some of the mistakes. Just maybe, I reckon, it's just a little bit more pressure on for the blitz. That would really make do. All the traps in blue prevent any kind of push in there, but perhaps some of that in dirt where the blitz was as well.
It really feels like Copper's really struggling to find his stride here. Like, he's going from Glaz to Blitz to or whatever else he's been playing. Is that the case, would you feel, Dev?
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't been individually for a lot of these players on Avant. It just hasn't been their day, it hasn't been their game. And, I don't know, Copper step on the blitz. I think that Copper is really the one player on Avant at the moment who seems to be operating at his normal capacity, at his top capacity.
Sorry, who?
How he would... Copper, honestly, sometimes he's been up and down, but I think that so far as the potential of these players and how they've been fulfilled, Copper on map 1 when he was playing the Prisma lady, Alibi. When he was playing Alibi, he was doing pretty well on his flanks for the most part. Yeah. Certainly better than Fisher, for example. And here, his blitz was really the only reason that they had a chance at winning that round. So yeah, maybe still not up to par, but I don't know. A bit worried for Avant with the current form.
Quite a few bans been going down while this match has been progressing, in case you haven't noticed.
Yeah.
Bit of a ban wave at the moment. There's Jack Daddy hanging around in construction. He's going to be the one to try and cut off these roamers, but he's going to hopefully get out of there. The Spec is going to be engaging with one. Shaq's going to find Luna with a C4 elsewhere. So that's one hard breacher off the board, nice and early on.
Good start for the attacking side, but like I said last time, it really eventually revolved around this blitz. Specker running around downstairs. He's just wasting time at the moment. He's just going to book it, force the attackers to hunt him down. Please tell me there's going to be a drone coming through here, or is it just going to be a face check? Surely not. Come on.
Oh, they know exactly where he is, I think, with that C4. Yeah. Vicious, meanwhile, has found Cutie, and that's going to give Copper license to push on in. Flashbang right up close, and Flossie's going to finish him off. It's a 4-on-3 man advantage. Has been ripped back by Avant.
But surprise, Specker could have just stayed in that corner and let that C4 sit on the door, and it would have prevented the blitz from pushing in. But nonetheless, I think that he's done his job. Still numbers deficit for Darksided, but we've seen Avant do struggle when it comes to just pushing in, taking some of this ground. Blitz, the only thing that's really led them any success with that, and I do expect Blitz will rotate to the dirt tunnel. Hopefully. That's what's worked well for him.
Well, gonna hear another engagement. I think that was Ippy style from Church through the hatch, perhaps. Did a bit of damage on Vicious, I believe.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure myself. It's like perhaps blue will be the go for Copper. We will have to vault quite a few things pushing to this side. Style inside of Church, holding fast. Where are the refrags? I don't know, why are you peeking into Church without someone ready to peek after you? That's... I'm really questioning a lot of these players from Avant. Jack Daddy, the check from the blitz does find Jack Dad. Eventually Jack Daddy takes him out. See, Jack Daddy was cautious of a refrag. Ippy style in a very predictable position, taking down Flossie. Jack Daddy cleaning it up, and that's the half split, 4-2.
Really feels like Avant are just getting ahead of themselves here, doesn't it?
Yeah, sometimes Avant are just... I don't know what to say, honestly, for Avant. It's little mistakes, you know? Not having a successful... no successful refrag and individual plays. Just not being up to par. I don't know. I hope that Avant don't remain inconsistent throughout the season, because it's really nice when you can predict how a team will perform and they perform well. But
is
frustrating
that what you'd
for
like?
me. Yeah, frustrating for me. I mean, I like to see gradual change, but coming from Avant last week winning against Auglis and last night doing so well against Fnatic to today just playing really not up to par, really not great. I hate to be bashing on them, but I'm just like, there's a part of me that wants to see Avant continue playing as well as they have, because it demonstrates how much teams can change from season to season. Like Oddity, for example, have been playing amazingly, and it's great to see them really step it up. Sometimes you see teams have success because they're doing really well, and sometimes you see a team win a match because the other team wasn't playing so well. And previously, Avant had been playing well, and that's why they've been winning. It's not the fault of their opponents, but today I've got to say Darksided are taking this fairly comfortably because Avant haven't been playing at their current capacity.
Feels like a bit of kryptonite, isn't it? Like Avant, their kryptonite is Darksided, because I have to agree with you. Like, their timing seems really off. Like, we have players pushing when they shouldn't be, and then players, you know, not there to support them, even though, you know, they are pushing, and, you know, it just seems like every play they're making is not the play. Like,
Yeah.
I hate to like harp on and like be super critical of a team, but like it really feels like that's the issue they're having.
And occasionally there are some plays that do work, like that one time they're pushing through dirt tunnel worked out for Copper on the blitz, but it's not consistent enough. And I don't know how you can just, I don't know, it's frustrating. I apologize to Avant and their fans because I may seem really frustrated with their performance, but I want to see them do well when they. I want to see them just continue how they've been playing so far this season. Darksided, though, I mean, it's a great moment for them because they have failed to do themselves justice this season, and I think it's great. A victory over Avant here is certainly proving the naysayers wrong, and saying that this current roster of Darksided is in fact potentially as good or better than its previous iterations.
Yeah, well, just looking at the Darksided's history so far in season, they've had 1 win, 1 draw, and 2 losses. Like, and they're still third. Like, let's put that into perspective. Like, I suppose, you know, to just show you how great Fnatic and Oddity are doing. But well, I suppose now they're on 2 wins, 1 draw, 2 losses after the previous map victory over Avant. But yeah, like it really feels like Darksided haven't really shown how we expect them to play this season, and they are definitely showing it in this matchup. Like, do you think it might also just be a bit of a mental issue here for Avant? Like, you know, they're up against, you know, this team that's been so long at the top or near the top of ANZ. Or
I don't know, if that was the case, then we really should have seen Avant perform more poorly against Auglis and Fnatic, but they took it to both of those teams. The previous number 1, previous number 2, now they're up to the previous number 3. And you'd think that they would perform equally as well against the number 3 as they do against the number 1 and the number 2, but it's not been that case at all. Darksided have really been continuing to impress. I mean, like we're saying, Darksided maybe not that great this season in the Pro League, but in the Invitational qualifier they did great against Auglis, and now they're doing pretty well against Avant as well, playing really well, just playing for reflex, just the simple basics, the kind of that chemistry, that kind of stuff that's indescribable sometimes, that you can't quite put your finger on why they're winning. That's what Darksided have been doing really well. That individual play, just nice, up to par at the usual standard, plus the teamwork to go with it.
yeah, so, you know, I suppose that's going back to the old, you know, a team is more than the sum of its parts, right? And that's really what we're seeing from this Darksided squad. I feel like, you know, all these players, yes, they're all good players, you know, better than reasonable players, and, you know, can perform at this level, but they're definitely performing a lot better than, you know, than the sum of their parts.
Yeah, on the flip side, Avant, sometimes they have really been forcing out this the atypical stuff, bringing a Ying or a Dokkaebi instead of just going for what's meta, and hasn't been working out so much for them. I think it's because it relies on the individual players, and the players haven't been stepping up to the plate in that regard. Nonetheless, we return into the game, split the first half 4-2 in favor of Darksided, who are now on the attack.
Yeah, of course, Clubhouse is a defender-sided map. What do we see in the Invitational qualifiers? Def Mudder, it was a 6-0 to Auglis against Darksided, and then Darksided in their defense brought it all the way back with 8 rounds in a row. So maybe we can look towards that as a silver lining here for Avant heading into the second half.
I speculated earlier that perhaps 4-2 wasn't such a bad scoreline to end the half on Coastline, but I turned out to be wrong there.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, as Avant didn't even manage to win on the attack on Coastline at all. So they can have a bit more success on their defense now, favoring the downstairs bomb site instead of that cash room, which many teams do prefer.
Isn't that what Avant do every defense round? Like, I'm pretty sure they always start downstairs.
I wouldn't be too surprised, but no alibi yet. Cat Cam was stuck through the 6-pick phase.
5 seconds to go.
Yeah, as for this operator selection from Darksided, Devmar, tell me, what do we notice?
The Darksided side, well, we haven't seen a buck previously, but I'm assuming that you're referring to the the hard breach. Only one hard breach, as we were being so critical of Avant. All 3 hard breach are unlocked, guys. Come on. I think that they were surely expecting it to be a top floor. That said, look, aside from the fact that, you know, maybe a little bit less hard breach than ideal, Darkside do have a fairly well-rounded set of operators.
Well, Dev, maybe it just makes us think that maybe we're the ones wrong and that hard breaches are overrated.
Maybe, I don't know. I've got to say though, overall, I do like the versatility brought by the Darkside lineup. This Buck and Capitao in particular, I think that that's just great for both Cash Room and this downstairs bomb site. We saw previously there was really nothing to clear out the players from who are defending on Darkside side inside of this Arsenal room where Copper is playing right now, but that Buck is the prime operator for doing that. And there's the Capitao, rather, also a great operator for forcing down a plant and covering with smokes.
I'd just be worried, right? We've got the Pulse just sitting there when there's an IQ on the table. Copper's got to have to be a bit worried about that.
That's true. Yeah, this style was spotting out Capcan traps before, but will at least spot out the Pulse scanner later on. Specker, the one to peek this main door. Does take out some cameras as well, and I expect that's primarily what the purpose of it be style on the IQ was for, spotting out those Valkyrie cameras, which do often enable defenders to go for these late flanks up into the bar and wreak havoc upstairs.
Yeah, it looks like Ippy Style is going to be the one to try and force out Blue rather than try and hunt down Copper, who's going to get the C4 onto Thermite. See you later, Bucks. And they're not really going to open up the floor much more. The impact trick not quite working on the hatch, as Cutie is going to bust it on open.
And that's both exothermic charges down. Love that Claymore, by the way. Ippy Style, though, trying to push Blue. He's got so much utility to wade through here, as does Specker. And the first bit he wades through is the Capcan trap. Style, perhaps avoiding that position. The player doesn't realize, but Luna straight up to back up Flossie. Flossie also finding one. Just Jack Daddy and Cutie left. Capitao, smoke bolts, hopefully going to force this plant down, but Copper is just chilling out in the back of Arsenal room and he finds one. Luna to find the second one.
Yeah, Luna's going to find that next one, and that was a beautiful defense around there from Avant. Luna completely backing up her teammates, and also finding that last frag, as we saw Copper doing a few spins there on the pulse.
That really could have gone the other direction if Luna hadn't nailed that kill onto Ippy Style in Blue. That really helped out the control of Blue completely, and great job from the defense. I thought that was an opening to exploit for Darkside, but it didn't work out. Finally, Avant have won a defense.
Finally, indeed. And they're going to head up to Gym Bedroom as their second choice dev, completely avoiding going to the cash room.
Yeah,
well, to start off with, at least.
There you go. There's the alibi. That's what I was expecting. Avant do love playing the alibi in lots of ways. Put it in the windows on this bomb site. It really restricts how much the attackers can put pressure onto your players through those windows. The defenders will have an advantage when they're not going to get spotted by the alibi device, but the attackers will. Also, this castle barricades should assist for this defense as well, just forcing the attackers to use a bit of that utility that they've stocked up.
Once again, just the one hard breach at Dev. Like, I think you and I just need to catch up with the meta again.
Oh, maybe you're right there. I don't know. I think that on the attacking side, what is missing is potentially something to deal with. I mean, I can't really say this because Thatcher's been banned, but yeah, I would have liked to see a Thatcher instead of the IQ if Thatcher was on the cards. But as we were talking about earlier with the Glaz picks, when it was Avant's side, it was typically just the one operator to bring smokes with Glaz. It was the Glaz himself, but this time around, Jack Daddy bringing the Capitao to support it. I quite like this. It shows that Darkside will have plenty of utility to fuel those that Glaz on their peaks.
Yeah, well, first point of business is to take control of CCTV and try and force out cash. Now, you know, as we see this meta develop, plenty of Rios over there, plenty of utility being used by the defenders. Shaq just getting ready to bust on in, is droning out what they can. Interesting to see Specker on the Glaz. It's not really an operator you'd normally see him play.
Oh, I thought it was Cutie that used to typically play the Glaz, but perhaps they want Specker in a more aim-based role. The Thermite charge is likely to be denied by Copper and back with those impact grenades. Cutie seems to be wary of it. And the buck from below, Shaq, looking to prevent
that's great,
this.
isn't it?
Yeah, but only if he's in the right spot. These flashbangs trying to stun out Copper.
Oh.
But Copper gets taken out by Ippy Style on the south
ball
window
bang?
of the con. I believe he'd opened up the hole in the wall, so it was calculated through the wall, but calculated. And oh, Specker through the smoke takes out Fisho as well. Fisho perhaps not realizing there was a Glaz on the table. Shaq jumps into the fray. Luna's gone down. Just 2 players left for this defense.
Yeah, very swift here, very emphatic from Darksided. So just Flossie and Vicious to try and hold it down in the 2-on-5, and there's so much time for Darksided to play with.
Looks like to be Darksided's round so far, and as they do play slowly, just droning out the situation. Plenty of time to utilize, find these 2 remaining defenders. And there's one spotted out. Vicious completely trapped between a rock and a hard place, and that hard place is Spectre on Glaz. Vicious now peeking up. He's taken down, not even looking the right direction. Just Flossie. It's only a 1 versus 5. Ace clutch required here. Finds 1. That's the first step, but Ippy Style closes it out. GSG9 onto GSG9 operator. That's a round for Darksided once again.
Yeah, there we go. Darksided, they were very confident in their take of cash. Like, it really feels like Darksided have updated their strats, whereas Avant have let them stagnate, and it's really showing, hasn't it?
It just looks like, from the Avant perspective, once their strategy gets hard countered, they don't have any kind of... the individual decision-making in plays, it's just not working out. Bad decisions. So, for example, Copper and back playing inside of Cash Room, looking to impact grenade those thermite charges. Once he realized he couldn't do that, due to the fact that there was several other angles being opened up onto him and the stun grenades coming on through, he kind of just, he was...
kind of just died.
He wasn't where to go. He ended up exposing himself to an angle, got taken down. Fisho guy, desperate for a refrag, continuing to peek the angle directly into a Glaz through smoke. That's not going to end well for him. And it's not a good start at all for Avant. Now they try Cash Room after such an abysmal attempt. It's at the bedroom bomb site.
It seems like Avant, no matter what happens, just want to change bomb site, whether they win or lose.
Well, perhaps it's a confidence thing. Sometimes it's like, oh guys, come on, like we lost that one, but surely we'll get them on this one. And I can't fault them for that kind of thinking. I think that Avant really do... They are fueled by how the players individually are feeling at the time. And I don't know if they're going to love me or hate me for saying that, but sometimes their players are on fire and they perform so well, and sometimes they're not. And whatever kind of confidence allows that to happen for the players is whatever method you can have to gain that confidence. Whatever works, really, and that's good.
Yeah, well, once again, one hard breach, Dev. I don't know, I suppose I can stop being surprised by that now?
Yeah, I mean, the only one I'd be that surprised on is for the downstairs bomb site, because of course you have 3 hatches and dirt tunnel, which are almost standard. You need at least 4 bits of each.
And then church wall, if that's what you want to do as well.
Yeah, and church wall, if you're going for that. Let's look downstairs so far. The shack on the buck has been working out. I'm quite happy with that. It looks like they're trying to deal with this mute jammer on that exterior wall, the Thatcher van, harming them potentially. Flossie wants to find this kill onto Shaq. I think his position was revealed there by the shots. Shaq, desperate to take out that mute jammer, finally does so, and the thermite charge explodes. Hippie Style also finding a kill out of it. Fisho guy having a terrible game so far.
Yeah. Oh, Luna!
What?
How do you land that? As Copper's also going to back it up. Terrible game, I know, but Jack Daddy with the trade back's going to burn Luna. Oh, bit of potatoes there, but Flossie is going to finally come out on top. Just leaving Cutie and Shaq remaining. The 1.5 on the clock. Unfortunately for Jack Dad, the position where that thermite charge was opened earlier was abandoned, because that would have been a great refrag from that position, potentially even saving Jack Dad's life. And now there's still a player left inside of Garage. These 2 players down below inside of Garage. Is this complete default from the bomb site? Shaq is flanked.
Avant making risky plays, but it's working out for them now. 2 versus 1. Cutie on rappel. 1 minute to work with. But he has no idea where these defenders are.
Yeah, looks like he wants to take it on through garage, so that's where he's going to go to start things off with. He has to go grab that diffuser, at least feels like he has to.
He's got 2 players to contend with as well. No C4 from below possible. His position likely being gleaned by those stun grenades. Good assumption. Oh, the angle! Through the stairs. That's not one you can contest, Cutie. He has to close the distance, but he's on camera. Smile for the evil eye. Behind him, that impact grenade also opening up an angle from below. Spotting out that diffuser. It's exactly what he wants to pick up.
Oh, he's got it.
Okay, this is possible for him. Will have to be a good retake from the 2 Avant players who are nowhere to be seen. Fisher guy, though, pre-firing through. He's in a great position. Cutie gets up. Takes down one. Oh my god, Cutie! A 2K to finish off the round. An impossible situation, but we see both of them on camera here, flicking up, taking one down, a 180 in the second. My god, a thermite 1 versus 2 clutch.
Alright, Cutie. Oh, wow. Wow, that's all I got to say. Puts Darksided onto match point. What was that, 1v3?
Holy... Oh my goodness, I'm still getting over that. My god, Cutie. That was a 1 versus 3. And we gotta say, in the 3 versus 2, Avant played it really smartly. It was a risk, but a calculated risk to default all of their players off site and flank Shack. Worked out well. And Cutie found 1 kill immediately afterwards, clearing out the player in garage. But he had no idea where the other 2 players were. Only that they were potentially roaming down in lounge. But pushing into the bomb site, he put 2 and 2 together, baited out a plant, and managed to land his shots perfectly in the clutch situation.
Yeah, well done there by Cutie, as he does at least secure a draw, potentially a win, depending on how this, these next couple of rounds go. How many were left? 3 including this one. So Dev, how are we feeling? Do you reckon Darkside are going to force the win again?
I certainly think Avant will be kicking themselves after that loss. And look, if they haven't been showing up so far, I don't know what it's going to take for them to regain that confidence. But on the defense, playing reasonably predictable operators. This is the only bomb site they have won so far on their defense.
Get Copper here, going for a spawn peek, and Ippy Styles just going to shut him on down. But like, it's such an integral operator on this bomb site, the Pulse. All his utility just wasted. His primary and secondary gadget.
Yeah, and that's the funny thing. If that was Luna on the spawn peak, at least you would have deployed her cameras already. But no, it's a 3-speed. All that fragging potential of the 3-speed down, all of the heartbeat sensor active power gone, and the active utility of the C4 also wasted. Very disappointing for Copper and back. He felt like he had to do something, and what he decided to do really didn't work out.
Well, downstairs, and, I'm sounding a bit like a broken record. 1 hard breach, you said you think this is the strange bomb site to bring the 1 hard breach on, Dev, but we're off to a great start already.
Yeah, sometimes just find those early peaks. Ippy style on the Ash. I mean, a lot of people have a go at Ash for not having a lot of utility, but really now that Zofia has lost 2 of her concussive grenades, you've got to say, Ash actually has a lot of utility. She has more projectiles than Zofia, with 5. You count, well, throwables, I guess, if you want to be that pedantic, with the stun grenades. It means you can waste 5 projectiles worth of charges on those ADS devices. So, on top of that, you've got a great fragging operator with 3 speed and a good gun. So, can't blame too much Ippy style and for bringing the Ash. You can get rid of some of this barbed wire very easily as he does so. 2 pieces of... Oh no, okay, it's caught out by the ADS. Obviously seems to be juggling those.
Like he's going to take some damage from the Ash charge finally, and Ippy style can't take Sophia because that's Specker's operator.
Yeah, it's proprietary. But Cutie taking off the board so early.
Hard breach.
Yeah, and that's no more hard breach available for Darksider. That's the very expensive pick for Darksider. They know they can't take Church Wall, they can't push dirt, they can't push any of the hatches. It'll have to be a brute force. Jack Daddy looking to use these smokes to force his team inwards. 2 players pushing from dirt, 2 from main stairs. Sorry, blue, not dirt. But that's one less in blue, and a second potentially going down. Smokes go out. Ippy Style finds his kill under Flossie, but Fisher Guy still in the game. Jack Daddy pushing into the bomb site. He's very low and finished off by Luna. Just Ippy Style, 1 down. And 1 more to go. Vicious versus Ippy Style. A great shot from Vicious to close out the round. And Avant, 1 step closer to a draw.
Yeah, Copper's going to have to be thanking his team there, making sure that they didn't lose on the round. He got picked off trying to spawn peek early on. But great back and forth there, and I think it came a lot closer than it should have been after Avant killed the hard breacher as well.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know how. I suppose it was just, a series of quick, very quick plays on these entries from the attackers. It was well calculated. Jack Daddy found a good frag, and I believe it was Ippy Style also found one. And just refrags back and forth, back and forth. But now, Avant turn to cash room. Sorry, not Avant.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being
Avant, rather. Turn to cash room. Sorry, had a bit of a brain moment there.
So yeah, this is of course the bomb site where Cutie got the 1v3.
Yeah. Don't know whether Avant can count. Sorry, Darkside can count on the clutch situation like that again. But for the same, Avant likely can't count on those unpredictable flanks again. Specker bringing out the Ying for the first time. An operator that can certainly deal some damage. We saw that when I believe it was Copper brought it out on the Avant attack side.
This time Avant have reinforced everything in Garrows. Like last time they had a soft wall.
Smart. Once you realise that the attackers continually only bring 1 hard breach and a very versatile set of soft breach ordnance in the Buck and Ash, then well, reinforce as much as you possibly can.
Yes, I wonder how much that's going to slow down. Yeah, look at all those Gumons. I wonder how much it's going to slow down Darksided, if at all. But
gotta say as well, with the Mute Jammer and now the Bandit, I like this adaptation from Avant.
Well, it looks
that
like
and Mute will deny all of those walls, but
looks like they're just going to go balls to the wall here.
How much damage can they actually do? That's a blind nade, but Style finds one before being traded back. Good job from Flossie. Make sure that his team finds something out of that. Cutie, nothing to do. Okay, sorry. Didn't even hear the fusing there on that thermite charge. So, that wall has been opened. There's an avenue into the bomb site. Most of Darksided, though, pushing on the west side of the map.
Specker very wary of any flank potential from the BARP. He's going to leave a Claymore to help cover his ass. We are seeing the peaks out though. Flossie trying to find the pre-fires, find the shots, wait and see if anyone wants to peek on into him, which, Specker might want to.
Oh, what an angle there! But Flossie doesn't fall for it. Specker sees a bit of a tag there, but still alive and still with his utility intact. However, on the teammate waste out his ADSs should he want to use those Candelas, and Shaq has been doing some serious work on the Buck so far. Taking down Copper, but Flossie, his second kill for the round. Good job from the Jaeger, another swift headshot. 1 minute remaining and 3-on-3.
Yeah, great stuff so far from Avant to try and hold on here, but final push is going to have to come on in. There's a few choke points. We're going to have to see Darksided try and force their way on in through, and that's going to be the first one. He's going to find Flossie, but the Yin Candelas flashed up their own team, and Specker is going to find onto Vicious and Shaq to finish things off there. There we go. That is Darksided putting up 2 maps in a row against Avant.
Time for me to eat my words, monkey. As we see Darksided have a very dominant and successful double best of 1 against Avant Gaming. Great job from his style as well. He was traded out so early in that game. What is... Okay, Ash, you're holding up your phone with telekinesis. That's new. Ring, ring indeed.
Well, Dev, as you said, you've had to eat your words. You're pretty choo-choo Avant for a bit there on the Avant train. But Darkside had come out on top, and I suppose that's traditionally